Okay, let's be real for a second. Has anyone ever given you amazing advice? Advice you knew was rock solid, and you just didn't take it? Well, we're about to figure out why that happens. And spoiler alert, the answer is way cooler than you think. I mean, really think about it. Your best friend, a mentor, maybe even a book gives you this perfect piece of guidance. You can see the logic, it makes total sense, and you just nod, say that's a great point, and then you go on and do the exact opposite. What is happening there?
Yeah, if you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are in very, very good company. And we usually just tell ourselves, oh, I'm just being stubborn or I'm just set in my ways. But the real reason is so much more interesting. It actually has to do with how your brain is built.
So what is the deal here? Is it just plain old arrogance? Or is there something else going on? Something deeper? Maybe a drive for what we call autonomy? Let's unpack that big assumption.
Okay, so here's the classic breakdown. On one hand, you've got the myth that when we ignore advice, it's just arrogance. It's us thinking we know better than everyone else. But the reality? It's your brain's logic. It's not an emotional thing. Your mind is literally automatically running a quality control check on every piece of information that comes in.
So let's talk about this quality control check. I like to think of it as a logical stress test. This is what's happening under the hood in that split second after someone gives you their 2 cents.
And the fancy term for this whole thing is intellectual autonomy. Now, this is not a personality flaw, not at all. It's a cognitive state. It basically just means your brain is wired to trust its own homework, its own internal reasoning, way more than just taking someone else's word for it. And here's the kicker. This isn't something you're choosing to do. It's an automatic evaluation. The moment your brain gets new info, it immediately starts checking it against everything it already knows and has concluded. In fact, it's often a sign of a really active, highly reasoning mind.
You can actually break this lightning-fast process down into 4 steps. First, you've got the input. The advice comes in. Second, your brain does a scan, comparing it against what you already believe to be true. Third, and this is the big one, is the test. It stress tests the logic. It looks for the evidence. And finally, you get the output. Your brain decides to either accept or reject it based purely on that test.
And all of this brings us to a really crucial point, which is the motivation behind this whole stress test. Your brain is not on a quest for comfort. It's on a quest for proof.
Seriously, this is so important. Your brain could not care less if the advice is comforting, if it's a warm hug in word form. It wants to know one thing, and one thing only: is it true? Is the logic sound? Does it hold up?
So what counts as proof for your brain? What's it hunting for? Well, it's looking for solid evidence. It's searching for sound, unbreakable logic, and it's checking for coherence. Does this new idea play nice with everything I already know to be true? What it is not looking for is just a nice, comforting suggestion that makes you feel better in the moment. So when you put all these pieces together, that resistance you feel, that little internal pushback you get when someone tells you what to do, it is absolutely not a character flaw. It's not you being difficult. No, it's actually a sign of a brain that's working overtime to protect its own logical integrity. It's like a built-in security system for your knowledge base. And once you see it that way, it's not a bug, it's a feature. It helps you understand yourself better, and you know what? It even helps you give better advice to other people. Because now you know to lead with the logic, lead with the evidence, not just your opinion. So I'll leave you with this. The next time you feel yourself pushing back on some advice, even good advice, just pause and ask yourself, am I being difficult right now, or is my brain just doing its job and being logical? It's a game changer.